Yo, what's up everybody? So we're starting things off on a trail, on a little path here that leads to the super secret beach. And this just happens to be right next to the airport. This isn't the beach that I had on, I think, just previously on a Tokin Daily episode that's like right at the end of the runway. No, this one is a little further away, like I said, down this path, that just this random spot that you have to know about to pull off. And it looks like there's a plane taking off, so I'm gonna get up close to the fence here and get a plane takeoff shot, because I've never gotten one of those before. So, right up here on top of the fence. There we are. There's one taking off, and there's one landing right behind that, basically. Up close. Then down the path I continue, off to the first beach of the day. Alright, we're getting closer to the beach, but first, before we get to the beach, there are a couple very, very notable sights to see here right next to the path. Coming up first, right ahead of us, is going to be a very old, very, what's the words I'm looking for? Not a complete part of an airplane, just like the main part of it's there and the engine and whatnot sticking out. Looks like it's got some graffiti on it. And then shortly after that is this nautical compass that somebody etched into the cement slab that's on the ground. So yes, here's the plane. There's not a whole lot of it. Just a little section of the main body, and both of the wings are there. Well, not complete wings, but partly. Like I said, it's got the graffitis on it. Very tastefully done, I might add. Very nice indeed. And I love these trees right here. Especially when you look at them from a distance and they're all just kind of swaying in the little bit of a breeze. All of those little needles look quite nice. Oh no, and you can see some of the nautical compass here. Some of it's getting kind of covered by all of the old pine needles. But like I said, this isn't just drawn into the ground here, into this cement. It is fully etched in there, like a good 1/8 inch deep, if not maybe a little more in some spots. So cheers to the person, whoever decided to do this. Anyways, haha. Dead ahead we have the water, and oh, it's just looking so inviting right now. So like 3 solid different shades of blue that we can see like up close to the shore. It's that very, very light turquoise, and then furthest in the back it's kind of that deeper blue, and then in the middle it's kind of a mix, the very tealish color. Yes, yes indeed. So we're gonna make my way up here, smoke a bowl, and probably get in the water for at least a couple minutes or so. Gotta play in the water. So cheers everybody. Hope you're having yourself a great and stony day. Whoa. Usually there's not this big old like drop off right here, but apparently the water's been cutting into the beach a little bit lately. Where's the best place to go that's not all rocky and sticky? Maybe just like right down here is probably where I'll be getting in. But once again, it's a little slice of pure paradise right here. I'm so happy to be able to live and thrive where I do live. I'm thinking I'm just gonna chill on this little section of the tree root to smoke my bowl for the morning here to get things started. Actually, think instead what I'll be doing is setting the camera down on this tree root somewhere. Where's the optimal spot? I'll probably set it like right in here. So it might be tilted a little bit, but is what it is, you know? Cheers, everybody's. See if I can even get a hit with this little bit of a breeze. I thought I had my torch lighter with me, but I didn't. Got some windsurfers out there. What's that called when you got a parachute strapped to you and you're on the surfboard? There's somebody way out there with that, like parasurfing. That's hardcore shit right there, man. That's all I gotta say about that. Anyways, enough chatter while I'm standing here in the water. I'm gonna stop for this segment and go play in that water. So I figured as I'm heading out here, I would get one more shot of a plane landing or taking off or whatever. And this is the first one that came by. And it's perfect because it does a little turnaround at the end of the runway right here. So we're going to be all kinds of up close and personal with it. So let's see, this is a United Airlines flight. So there's a very, very good chance that this is a big old plane full of people coming from the mainland. Maybe some people coming home. Maybe some people just getting to Hawaii for the very first time in their life. I bet they're so excited. I was totally excited at that spot right there where I was just landed and getting ready to pull into the airport. Woohoo! Boy. So, again, off we go. We've hit our morning beach. Now it's time for some waterfalls. How many waterfalls? Well, who knows? We'll see. We'll find out. Alrighty, so we are walking to the first waterfall of the day. This is just a random spot. Another one of those spots here on the island where if you don't know about it, you drive right past 1,000 times and never know the beauty that you're missing down here. So we got some mud to make our way through. And ooh, that falls is raging right now. Oh boy, super slippy mud. Haha, I did not fall somehow. Zoom would bring things down here. And usually when I come here, I like to work my way out right down there to the edge, basically right where that rock is. Or maybe even down to where that tree is over there. We'll see. Look at these roots. They are searching for any and everything that they possibly can. Gotta appreciate how plants will just adapt and thrive to where they live to make the most out of their home. Woo boy. Path is getting mighty thin right here. Usually I'm not recording as I'm walking this So it makes it a little more interesting as I do. And oh, look at these, a couple little aqua puis. Anyways, we're almost there, we're almost there. Oy. Probably would have been easier if I just would have walked through the water to get here, but you know, I like the challenge of a good adventure, so I stayed along the dry side of things. Looks like we got 3 ropes over there currently right now. Anyways, I do believe it is time to sit down and smoke a bowl. So cheers, everybody's. Oh, and I just love the beauty of everything right here. Especially when you look up, you just got all of the different types of trees. Beautiful blue sky up there. Thank you, Maui, for such a beautiful, gorgeous day. Alright, so let's get the pipe out. We got that right here. Should still have some hits in it. Oh yes, it's got plenty. So I only took a couple hits so far today. And get my lighter, and there's not really a whole lot of wind right here, so I should be fairly good in terms of all of that. And can I set the phone up? Can I kind of prop it there rather than pinch it between my knees? I think so. Let me get settled here a little bit more. Just like that, maybe. I don't know about that right there. That's getting a little dangerous with things. There we go. We'll put it in this little tree. Hopefully the focus isn't getting all fuckered right now. If it is, oh well. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, 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 cheers. So yes, so far all is working out perfectly as planned today. So like I said, it's just a beautiful, perfect day for something like this. The water here is rushing quite a bit. It's not exactly as gentle as it possibly can be. Usually, like there's a ridge line right there, you can kind of tell. Usually you can see the little rock line that marks that, and now those rocks are fully submerged. So we'll see how the bamboo forest goes, how things are looking there. But I'm anticipating that will be a lot of great time. And that's one of my favorite trails. It's one of the closer trails to my house that is just really involved with a ton of scenery, going across the river, through the river, swimming up the river for like a quarter mile or so. Hell yeah, that's where it's at. And I haven't seen if the bowl is still cherry, but I highly doubt it is. No. It's got a bunch of ash in my mouth. Anyways, let's go ahead and finish this bowl off before I do leave here. Cheers, everybody. Light it one more time, and then it'll be done. So, signing off from waterfall number 1. Bye! Alrighty, for our next set of waterfalls, we're here at Twin Falls, one of the very, very known about, very touristy areas, but still very beautiful, very worth the stop if you are in the area. So we're gonna make our way down there. There's a few ways of going there. Basically any trail you pick is the right one, but this is my favorite just because of the overall scenery. It's the one that gets down to the river the quickest, and you walk through these trees at this one point that are just all like completely bent over, so it's like a tree tunnel thing, and I just love that. So away we go. Actually, I think what I'm gonna do is set my phone down and take me a hit here, right inside of this little wood tunnel, the tree tunnel. And let me see, is there a spot where I can set my phone? I think I can wedge it right in between these trees here. Almost, kind of, not really. Nope, that doesn't really work. So I think I'm just gonna stop it and load it, and then we'll resume after I got it loaded. That'll make things easier on me overall. Alrighty, so here right along the river, I found myself a nice comfy branch to sit on. So cheers everybody, cheers, 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 happy day. Yum, yum. Smoking on some conspiracy kush, by the way, today. Not sure if I mentioned that. A part of me seems to think I did, but I'm not sure if I'm confusing that in my brain with earlier this morning when I recorded the Tokin Daily episode that I uploaded for yesterday. For today, but, you know, yesterday in terms of y'all's perspective. And we're coming up to the Twin Falls themselves. I was thinking on my way here, is like, do I count these as two different waterfalls that we're seeing, or is it just one? But then the answer kind of came to me, is like, well, it's like the name of the place is Twin Falls. Twin means two, it's not a singular thing. So this definitely counts as two waterfalls. So this is number 3 and 4. just up past Twin Falls, like upstream, up trail, just a wee little bit, we have another waterfall. Whoo, so I'm making my way carefully down to the spot right here. That'll be about as, I think, close and scenic as I can get to this one. Whee! After traversing the rocks. Okay. And once again, this thing is flowing. I don't think I mentioned that about the Twin Falls themselves, but yes, a high rate of water today indeed. Normally this is quite calm and chill for people swimming in and chilling in. But woo, that's a lot of water coming through right now. So yes, this is waterfall number 4. So a big part of this island adventure is getting around to the various spots that I'm going, and today I'm driving a section of one of the most beautiful, perfect roads that I've ever seen, that probably exist in the world as far as people who love to drive. This is the road to Hana, and it is just so windy and curvy. There's so much elevation change, and it's just an awesome drive. That was probably one of the straightest stretches of it that it comprised of. Just not a whole lot of straight lines on this thing as it twists and winds up and down. I love it. I think we're coming to a water crossing down here, so I'll wait until at least then before disengaging the recording. So let's see though, to recap, so far I've hit 4 waterfalls up. There's gonna be one more right before the road to Hana, another spot that I've stopped at a few times and shot a few videos at, but it's one of those required stops. So that wasn't that big of like a hairpin turn. Oftentimes when you got those bridges like that, there are these tight little hairpin turns. A lot of this road is a strict 1-lane road. Like right now there's 2 lanes, 1 way in each direction. There's plenty of chunks of this road that there's no lane divider. It's just a single lane road for both directions. Here we got one of the sharp U-turn bridges. Not much water flowing down there. Little tiniest of trickles it looked like. Anyways, we'll stop with the road show here. So many Jeeps. Jeeps and Mustangs and Camaros and whatnot, especially the convertible ones. Those are the most common tourist cars here. I mean, there's locals that have the cars too, but more often than not, when you see a Jeep, especially a Wrangler, or a Mustang or a Camaro, it's a tourist. They're out here having fun, enjoying life in their rental car, drop top action, just kicking it here in Hawaii. We're at Huelo Lookout. No, I've never been there. I've never really looked out at that spot. I'm gonna have to do that one of these days, but not today. A little stand there. Chicken in the background, don't know if you heard that, but chickens are very, very common. They're just the wild free-range chickens and wild free-range kitties to go right along with them. Alrighty, so enough for the recording here. Kind of did it there with the camera, but there's a lot of turns right before I sign off for good anyways. But there's a lot of turns, especially left-hand turns, that are so sharp. Instead of looking out the windshield, I'll just look out my passenger side window to see the road. That is so Hawaii. You know, not to say that sharp turns don't exist at other places, especially in Colorado going up the mountain roads. Oh yes, those are some switchbacks. But I love it. I love it. I'm such a driver at heart. Alrighty, so a slight change in plan because I was going to that other little waterfall spot, but it was crowded. It was packed. Like, there's not a parking lot, but there's a parking space like right along the side of the road, and there was like 5 cars all filling it up, and I was like, I'll just get to that one on the way back. Should be plenty of time to do it after the bamboo forest. Oh, speaking of, I just saw it there off to the right. Beautiful scenery all around here. So many times you just don't know which way to look, and it's not a wrong answer whichever direction that you choose, because you're just surrounded with beauty. Jeep. One of these days, I want to make a video where I drive the entire road to Hana, just doing a short little stretch of it today. But I want to go the whole way and make a little smoking game out of it, where every time you see a Jeep, or anytime that you see that Mustang or Camaro, you have to take a hit or a dab. Yeah, maybe we'll do something like that soon, with the Mustangs and the Camaros being dabs, the convertibles, and a Jeep just being a hit of some flowers. Maybe? That could be fun. Jeep. All right, so here we have the bamboo forest. There's just parking wherever you can manage, side of the road style. So I'm gonna go ahead and tuck myself in right here. It's right next to one of the entrances. That being right there. I'll back up and not park right in the entrance, but cheers. Alrighty, so being that this hike is one where I'm definitely going to be getting wet, I'm not gonna bring the pipe with me. I was kind of meaning to bring some, like a couple Ziplocs to put the pipe in and the lighter and the weed, just to make sure I could bring it with me to the end. But lo and behold, I forgot, and I don't have anything like that right now. So I'm gonna take my hits, get good and smoky here before the hike, and then go and do my thing. So cheers, everybody's. Virtual hip, take it, take it, yeah. Okay, so that will about do me. I will be taking the phone with, because I do have a brand new waterproof case for it. I probably won't be recording while I'm in the water for it, just because it has issues with that still. But I will be able to take it through the water to the drier parts and get the end of this trail on camera. So away we go. And I've been wondering if I should, well, I should definitely take the key out of the car. But I've been wondering if I want to go completely barefoot or if I should be wearing my slippers. And I think it's just best if I wear my slippers, because there's a lot of sections of it that that are just too rocky, too woodsy, and I don't really want to fuck with that with my barefoot. My feet are still far too sensitive for a lot of that stuff. So we go from the road into the bamboos. Hopefully this won't be too wet today, because there's been plenty of times where it is very wet in here, and very wet in here means very, very extremely muddy in this first section getting down to the start of things. And as you step in, there's a bunch of little paths. Basically any of them go to the same place eventually. There's a couple lookout spots, but then it all goes down to this little river crossing, like the mini river, the little stream, and then it goes from there to the big river. And yes, this is a fun little trail. So I'll be sure to get lots of little clips along the way, and still try to save some battery, because I do have to hit up that one waterfall that was just too packed for me to stop at on the way in. Oh yeah, we got some mud up ahead. Luckily, most of the time there's little side paths that go mostly around the mud. There comes a point though where you just can't avoid it. And ooh, look at this! Took a detour, found a rainbow eucalyptus, or is it? Yeah, I think it is, not just the guava. let me get to where the lighting is the best for this, because this thing is nice and colorful. The red's in there, and the fresher stuff I'm guessing underneath of the red, the bright green, not bright green, but the light green, I guess it is. Free. Or is it just a guava? I'm not sure, to be completely honest. Anyways, muddy way? This isn't too bad. I got some footing over here where I can stay mostly dry. Alright, so we've made our way down to the first stream crossing. Well, I mean, it's right up there, but we're practically there. I had to get that entrance shot, because that way you really get the scope and the feel of this thing, because as you're walking, it just kind of comes down to where you can hear the water, but it's just the thin little cut out of the land with a plank stretching across, and that is the crossing. And it's very interesting getting up to it, because this rock can get quite slippery. A big old thing, but again, when it gets muddy, and it is muddy, it gets pretty slippery. And right after where this plank is, it kind of opens up. It opens up to about that width, a little further upstream as well. But again, right here, it's just this little cut out of the rocks. That's really quite awesome. Oh boy, being careful, because that's muddy too. And that would be a really bad place to slip. A lot of this place would be really bad to slip, because there's these big old jutting rocks, or sometimes roots or whatever popping out of the bamboos. Cut bamboo shoots, so it's get pretty sharp sometimes. So yes, be stable with your footing. Never be afraid to get your hand dirty to stabilize yourself rather than falling. Flip the camera around so you can see a little bit of what I'm going through right now. I love it right here. I had one of my buddies when I was coming through here, he commented on how thin I was and how I was able to go through stuff like this with ease, whereas he was able to make it through most of it, but some of it he kind of struggled on, where I was just like zoop. And I'm getting a little bit off path here just because it is kind of so easy for me to walk through the bamboos at will. Oy, get my foot stuck in the mud. There we are, back over to the main path, the side path anyways. And we avoided the little mud trap. Aha! And yeah, I just love looking around as I'm walking through here, just because the sights are amazing. When it gets windy, the sound of like these kalak-lacking up together all at once, it's something else. It's really cool, really cool. And we're coming up to the river crossing, where a lot of times when I get here, what I'll do is go off downstream just a little bit. There's a couple little mini swim holes, like little chill holes, and I usually smoke a bowl right there, but I got no bowls to smoke today, so probably ain't gonna be none of that. Because normally when I come, I don't go completely all the way to the end, or if I do, I'll just kind of leave my stuff, because I'm not going to be taking my shirt and probably not my sunglasses to the very end. Won't be swimming with those, so I will leave those. But I didn't really want to leave the pipe. I don't really feel comfortable leaving the pipe and the weed and whatnot. So there's been times right here where this river has been like way higher, completely rushing over all of these rocks, where it's been like super deep to try to cross. As of right now, I think I can make it across, staying out of the water. Maybe going down that way. I don't know, because it looks like I'll have to get in at some point. So I'm just going to walk across right here. But in doing that, I do want that full stability of my hands. So I'm going to put the phone away, and I'll catch up with you soon. this rock right here. Another spot where I normally stop. And I smoke a bowl. Pinky carbonal. And I do believe we're coming up to a waterfall. This will be number 5 for the day. You can hear it well before you can start to see it. Almost there, almost there. Kind of a little teaser view right there. But we'll go on over this way, over the rocks. And come on into this area right about here. Whee! Okay. Sublime waterfall number 5, and damn, once again, a lot of water coming through here. Much more flow than normal. Let's see if I'll even be able to make it to the end. Maybe just be too wet and slippery at the spot that you have to climb up the rocks. So cheers. Number 5. Woo! Hi. Alrighty, and here we are at number 6, a very popular swimming spot for people. And I think there's a jump spot if you plan it just right. Normally what I do, I go up the very dangerous way, to be honest, that ends up bringing me up along that top edge right there. And that's all very scenic and very cool, but I figured today with things, I go up this way because this is kind of the more popular route for people to go. So the tricky and interesting part comes right here, where it's basically a very, very angled cliffside that's very wet. There's a rope hanging down, so that provides some stability. Pull yourself up and basically do a little wet rock crawl over towards yonder ways. So for this, I'm definitely going to put the phone away, but I did want to get about as close as I can up here, just to show it off as much as possible. And that was a piece of cake, much more daunting and intimidating looking than it actually is. So we continue our way up now. And boom, we're at the top of the falls. So we're going to keep on going to the next one, and the next one gets very interesting as well, getting up to the top of that falls. Definitely not a hike. This one is the bamboo forest for people who have mobility issues, because it does demand a lot of you. So we're coming up to the next waterfall. It's still a couple twists and bends up ahead, but I already heard a couple kerplunks of people jumping into the water there. And I already passed a couple people, just smiles plastered on their faces. Today is the perfect day for doing this here on Maui. And it's one of the best things, in my opinion, to be doing when you do live here. It's taking advantage of this scenery that we live at and just being out and enjoying it. And here we have the next one. What is this? I lost count. Number 7, I think, I do believe. Another very popular swimming spot. And looks like you got some people getting ready to jump in. There's a little rope swing that dude is on. Somebody else climbing up. It's just a fun little spot. There he goes. Oh, woohoo! Alright, so this is another spot where a lot of people just don't go past. Because this is literally straight 90 degrees up into the air. Gotta go first from this like a almost a 6-foot ladder to this rope ladder that somebody just kind of strung together, and at the top of that there's just a rope to grab onto for stabilization. So, cheers everybody's, away I go. This is the top of this waterfall, number 7. Just had to get a scenic shot. I also had to get that shot right when I got to the top. Some people were coming down, so I asked him if I could get a shot of him as he was going down, just to get some perspective on that. But that was a very interesting part of the journey. It always is. But now we continue upstream. All right, there are some quite steep stuffs there where I would have preferred the use of both hands if necessary. So here we are, just gonna take the phone and do a little upstream walk here for a little bit, or a couple minutes maybe. And oh, look, a little flower. It's a little orchid, I think it appears to be. And oh, is this a ripe guava? Oh, it is. It's not quite. It's got like a few days. It still has kind of a tinge of green to it. It's not totally yellow, just like in little bits. But there's been a lot of guavas that I found just on the ground randomly in the little waters. So I'm guessing there'll be quite a few that I'll come across up in the trees. Oh, like right up there, I can't reach it. It's way too high, but there's definitely a ripe one up there. See, like I said, lots of little guavas on the ground, squish and squash, and that one's been there for a few days. So this one. So when you see stuff like that, yeah, you just look up. You're like, oh, and hey, look, that might be a ripe one right there. Wait. Guava, guava, is you ripe? Can I pick you? Yes, I can. And there's so many perfect little chill pools just to enjoy yourself in along the way here as we're heading upstream. Once again, it's like, bam, that's a perfect little swimming hole. And then there's like a tiny teeny one right there. And then right up there, there's another one. I love this place. And there have been quite a few of these mini waterfalls, not quite really big enough that I would consider it a countable waterfall, more of just a rock fall, a water, rather than the full one, if you will. But we're getting closer to the massive waterfall. And being that the water pretty much everywhere else today has been a lot higher than normal, I'm expecting it to be more than just the little trickle that it normally is. The Paul method for getting in the water. First I crouch down and get in real slowly. Make sure my footing is stable before I put any weight on it while maintaining that at least third point of contact to the earthen ground. Because man, it doesn't feel nice when you slip and fall in them rocks. It can be mighty sharp at some points that you're just not expecting it to be. So you should always expect it to be. And that way you do the best of completely avoiding slipping and falling to begin with. There's a guava that fell down, split right in half. It's looking quite vibrant with the colors there. I'm like, which way should I go? Should I just go that way and get wet, or go this way and do a couple more rock hops before heading riverside? I think I'm going to do that. What I normally do. Being that we got these white ginger lilies here, I'll do what I normally do when I come across them. Show people what you can do. What you can do is pull it out, and when you do such, I don't know if the camera is going to really focus on it, but you can maybe see right up to about right here, there's a little fleshy coating on this thing, and I know what I would crouch down like such. Put it down here, so that way it forces the camera to focus up close. Haha! Maybe? Haha! Come on, camera, haha! Alright, still kind of not, so I'll just do my best here. But, yeah, it's got this little, like, really thin, fleshy coating. There you can kind of see it with the angle of things. So you can grab that and peel it off, pull it off. It usually comes off all in one quick pull. This one left another little bit. So now what you want to do is you can take the tip of it here, and just the littlest bit of the tip, and bite it off. Spit that out, and then suck through this like a straw. And you just get the sweetest, littlest burst of sweetness, of gingery sweetness. So yes, cheers to that. Thank you, white ginger lilies, for being so abundant here. Alright, so now instead of continuing through here, I'm just going to make my way through the bushes and back onto the rocks. Being careful with my footing, hoping that I'm stepping on stable rocks. Most of them are stable, but there's the few, even the big ones, that you're like, oh, I can definitely put my weight on that, and then glunk glunk, it starts rocking under you, and oh boy. Alright, and right down there is where I'll be getting in the water, because there's lots of little rocks, not little, by little I mean big rocks that just jut out in there, so I'm not certain about where I can jump in. There was a couple people that just a minute ago jumped in from over there, but I'm not that confident. I don't really want to end up with a broken leg or a severely scarred body part or whatever. Oh, and you can kind of see them there. Maybe they're climbing up the little falls over there. That spot right there, that little waterfall, it's so comforting to sit in that because this water right here, it's all fresh water, so it's really cold. But that water right there, it's been like in the sun and over the rocks, like really close to the rocks for a little while, so it warms up a lot. And you can just sit right there at that falls, like with the water splashing at you, and it is just so peaceful and perfect with that warm water after that cold swim. Anyways, off I go. So, I do believe I'm qualifying this as an official countable waterfall. It's a mini one still, to be certain, but it still counts. So this is number 8, right? Woohoo! Cheers to number 8. And I do believe, I'm pretty sure that if I stand up right up there, I can jump into the water down here. So I'm going to test that theory. First, I'm going to go ahead and have a nice little swim around there, kind of plop my feet down as far as I can, just to test it, to be sure it's safe, and then I'm gonna go ahead and jump into that ship. So cheers, everybody! Cheers, 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 indeed. It's been a beautifully perfect day so far, an absolutely gorgeously perfect day for this. Yes! Hopefully it caught that, because that was fun. Not a very high cliff. It's like, what, a 15-footer maybe? But still fun. Massive loads of fun. Anyways, now off I go. So, making our way up towards this massive one. And there's a couple people playing up here. And there it is. It is just a thing of pure, absolute beauty. And there's never a whole lot of people here. There's like a few people around sometimes. Is he getting ready to jump? I think he's probably climbing up to find a jump spot. Cheers on him. Getting himself some adventure in the day for show. Anyways, let's get a little closer to things. Barefooting it now. Oi, oi, oi. Haha. And yes indeed, this is a spectacle, a sight of pure beauty. Another one of those things that just make me feel so very blessed to live here. there's just this little kind of bowl area here. A very high cliff up there. That's what I'm really bad at, trying to estimate distances, but maybe 100, 150-ish was it between the two? Yeah, I'd say maybe like 120-ish feet sounds about right. It's like 150 feet maybe to the very top of the cliff up there. So that's all a straight drop off. So I got one more angle on this waterfall and then I'll be heading back. Because, you know, the photographer in me just wouldn't have been happy if I didn't come over here and get a shot of this waterfall from this side. Just because the little differences in lighting can have such an impact on the finished result. I like it. It's been a great day so far. We still got one more waterfall and shit. What was it? Is this number 9 or 8? I, to be honest, completely lost count. I think that's 9 though. So, back I go, and I love it when you got the blue sky reflecting off of the puddles. There is that sky, so blue, and them clouds so close overhead. They're just skedaddling. Making their way through the sky, doing their cloud thing. And I'm out here doing the pulse thing. Chasing waterfalls and such. Fuck them rivers and lakes that you're used to. Get out and see something new. So like I was saying about the rocks that are really big that you step on that you think are going to be stable but actually aren't, this is one of them. It's kind of perched. You can see, well, you can't really see with the phone, but it's on a little teeter spot right here, and it's got a lot of play. It could probably tumble halfway over, like this whole surface of it can be submerged in the water over there if you're not careful. So again, be cautious of your footings. Don't want to get hurt when you're out on these hikes. And just had to get one more look at that beautiful scene, I think. Anyways, down we go. That right there was the jump spot. There was 2 big old guavas that were smashed on the ground. Right where I was jumping from. Let's see, should I stay dry? I might as well. Gonna be getting wet soon enough. And I'm thinking now if I want to go down by just jumping again, or if I want to crawl down the way that I crawled up. Obviously jumping is the quick way down, but I'm being very cautious about my phone. I don't want something to happen. I don't want like the force of the landing of the jump to like fuck the phone up or whatever, the case. And I think I'm just gonna do what's safest right now and try to crawl down. Safest for the phone, that is. Safest for me would be just jumping, because you just jump into water, whereas crawling down this side, man, them is some slippery rocks. Anyways, away we go. And one of my favorite things to do when crawling back out of the water and heading back to the car is just sitting on these rocks because they're so warm. The sun's been like baking them all morning so far already. And it feels nice just to sit down for a little bit. Got a guava tree here with a ton of tiny little ones on there. Wasn't off of this tree, but off of another. I ate a couple of the guavas. Very, very ripe right now. And things are just chill. Tranquil as can be right here. So as I was making my way through the water right there, just had like 1 foot each time, just a little bit in the water for like a couple seconds. But I took a step and lo and behold, I lost my slipper. It's now right there. I was like, shit. I was right there. I was like, do I go in right there and grab it? Or do I just come down here downstream and wait for it? So I was like, bloop, 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 bloop. And now it's sitting there just doing a little whoopty-whirl. If it does one more whirl that way, I'm gonna run across here and just snatch it up. Come on, slipper. Too bad I don't have a long stick to kind of fish it out of the water. All right, it's coming this way. It's coming. It's coming. Come on, you can do it. Don't get caught in that little cross. It is. It's going back over that way. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can catch it before having to wait for it to go all the way back around again. Hi, Slipper. You were mine. You went for your little adventure on your own. And now we continue on the way. Woohoo! Full recovery. Looks like somebody got to right here and they're like, I'm just gonna go barefoot. You'd figure they'd be swimming somewhere nearby, but I don't see them. So they must be out enjoying life. I didn't see those when I was coming, so they must be fairly new. So as I was making my way back, I came across a group of like-minded individuals and they offered me a hit. And I said, oh, thank you. Thank you.
Boom Shiva.
So cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining.
Okay, so remember way back towards the beginning of the bamboo forest when we had that little stream crossing with the plank going across it, and there was a trail that went upstream from there. Well, that's what I'm on right now because I remembered there was a waterfall at the very end of this, and if I'm doing a waterfall chase, a waterfall hunt today, well, I gotta get all of them, not just the ones that are super convenient. All right. I'm not sure if you can hear on the camera phone. microphone, that is. But we are approaching the waterfall. You can hear that splash. So just a few more steps, and here we are. Hello, waterfall. So I do believe, I'm pretty certain that this is number 10 for the day. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. 10 waterfalls among 2 stops. Got one more to be added to that list today. And the day, absolutely, like I know I've said it already a couple times, but it has been absolutely perfect. Like, I'm so glad, so happy that I decided to make this my mission for today. It has paid off in every possible way. So cheers, everybody. That's a sight right there. Among all of the bamboos, is that other tree? I'm not sure what kind of a tree it is because I'm not that into my treeings. But if you look, you can see that first branch right there totally snapped off, came crashing down right there. And then there's another big old giant branch of the same type of tree. I'm assuming that came from somewhere else up yonder ways. And as I look up, of course, this right here is directly right above my head. Like if it fell down, it would go plop right in front of me. So I'm gonna mosey on this way, so as not to encounter any chance freak happening where a giant ass, heavy ass branch comes crashing down upon me to my certain death. Alrighty, so much better luck this time. When I was driving past, there was only one other car parked here. And that might not even be anybody who's here. They might have been off doing something else because I don't see anybody. So, to finish things off for our waterfalls for the day, we have this one right here. Another smallish one, but that's still what I would consider a waterfall. That's a good falls of water, like around 7-ish, 7 to 8 foot high at its highest, I do think. So, cheers to our waterfalls that we've seen so far and the beach that we started the day off with, and now I'm just going to set the phone down right about there. We should be good, and I am going to get good and stony toasty high and chill here for a little while, just because I have to do some makeup chills with the pipe in hand that I wasn't able to do at the bamboo forest. So, I don't need to pull the weed out, just need the lighter, and we are ready to smoke. Cheers, everybody, cheers. Hopefully, you've had a pretty awesome day, because mine, it's been fucking epic. It really has. It's been close to one of the best days of my life. There's been others that probably top it, but it's close. It's definitely top 10. Today, fucking great. Virtual hit, take it. And I guess I ask myself now, aside from just having a purely amazing, perfect day, was there any lessons learned? And I mean, you know, it was just a day of beaches and waterfalls and being out in nature, so I don't know if I really learned anything. I don't know, I'll keep that in the back of my head as I maybe babble and take a couple more hits here. But it was a tranquil as fuck day. I mean, being out in nature makes me so happy. It puts the biggest smile, not just on my face, but inside, in the feels. And yeah, again, I'll say it once more that I just am so blessed to be able to live here. I'm blessed for the energy that exists here on this island, just to have made everything that is here that I'm able to indulge in and surround myself in. Cheers, Maui. You done good. You done damn good. One more hit for y'all. Yeah. This bowl's starting to get all pooty poop tasting. So, we're gonna sign off from this last waterfall and head to the beach. Chill in the ocean for a little while. Still got a couple hours before sunset, so I don't know if it's gonna be a sunset video. Maybe it will be. I'm gonna stop and get something to eat beforehand along the way, and then I will make it a sunset video at the beach to cap things off for this video. So here we are once again at the beach. Not really a few, probably a couple miles from where I was this morning on the beach. So it's a different section, but the same general area. I wanted to initially go to one of the other beaches, but the waves there were a little bit high and choppy, and I wasn't really wanting that. I kind of wanted more of a very, you know, chill ocean sesh. And that's what this beach is perfect for. There's a little like coral line like right about there. You can kind of see the waves breaking against that, so that cuts down on the bigger ones, and usually when they come in here they're nice and gentle. So cheers everybody. We do have the pipe loaded up and ready to be smoked from, so not sure if I can quite balance the phone on these fallen trees right here, these leaning over trees. It's almost possible, but not really. So I'm just gonna put it down here and I'll pinch it with my niece, because that works. Plenty fine. Cheers everybody. And there may not be much of a sunset shot today. There might be. I mean, we'll see what happens. But it'll be a lot sooner than normal because there's a big old tower of clouds right there that the sun is going to be disappearing into. When normally it would, you know, go down a little more and it would have a little more travel time until it gets cut off by the West Maui Mountains over there. Anyways, back over here to get a little more stony before heading in the water. I noticed there was a couple fisher dudes out here today doing what they do's. Alright, and you know, I think I will pretty much end it with here. I'll sign off. I'll probably have some more silent footage just of the waves, of the water, walking around on the beach a little bit, maybe to get a different shot on everything. So, cheers everybody. Happy day to you, and I will see you again tomorrow for some more tokin dailying. Come on, later. Started to get a hit there. Got a little bit of a hit. Yeah, I definitely needed one more shot of the ocean here, just walking along in this band, right at the edge, at the tippy tip of where the waves come in at. And so, the proper goodbyes, well, proper weedless, I don't have the pipe on me. Cheers, aloha everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed my little adventure day video. I had a hell of a lot of fun with the making of it. It was a damn fine day, and plenty more days like that shall ensue. You can best count on that. So, goodbye. Now, I am off to play in the ocean. Because just look at it. Just look at it though. And let's not sign off just quite yet. Go squish, squash, squish, squash through the sand we go. To my magic bag with the pipe. Lighter in hand, I've been walking around with that. Oh shit, did I have the pipe in my pocket? Oh yes. Damn it, Paul, you stoner. Why didn't somebody remind me just to check my pocket? Alright, so had lighter in hand, had pipe in pocket, but was like, I gotta go back there to get my pipe. Anyways, that's all good. It's all good. It's probably a little less windy right here anyways. It was fairly breezy over there. So, cheers everybody. Have yourself a great and stony day. Oh no, the wind was silent there for a little bit. I just got the faintest of hits though. Let's try again. Small hit, but it'll do. Cheers, 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 everybody's.